I'm Abid Haque, a PhD candidate in biology from Rutgers-Newark. If you've been keeping up with the happenings at Rutgers, you would know that we, and especially President Holloway, aspires to build a beloved community. Does it really live up to its aspirations though? Case in point, the pandemic. PhD students, the people who conduct the majority of research at Rutgers and teach classes as TAs and instructors, are being laid off. A typical PhD in the US takes 5 to 7 years to complete. Over the last couple of years, the pandemic struck his eye, and many other students were making progress to meet our research goals. We lost cell cultures, canceled our field visits, forfeited visits to our home countries, and suffered because of the pandemic. It was a huge setback to our progress as early career researchers. That, however, didn't stop Rutgers from forcing as many as 200 students to scramble to find funding so they can complete their degrees. As we speak, Rutgers is doling out non-reappointment letters to PhD students, effectively a pink slip. For an international student like me, this could be the end of the road. Without funding through a TA position, I become an illegal alien who has to leave the US immediately. As a supposed solution, Rutgers is offering part-time lecturer positions to some terminated students, which pays roughly $10,000 a year. If you subtracted the course registration fees, out-of-pocket health insurance, and parking fees from this meager salary, an in-state PhD student is left with a little over $3,000 a year. Without full funding packages, these doctoral students have no way to pay for their rent, groceries, childcare, medical bills, and other life expenses. A beloved community would have taken stock of all of its members and ensured that they're taken care of. President Holloway, deans, and administrators, it's still not too late to take a stand. Roll back the firings, extend funding for PhD students, and guarantee a funding package for TAs that matches the timelines of their completion, 5 to 7 years. Are you listening?
Hey Rutgers family, this is Keith Green here. I'm an associate professor of English and director of Africana studies at Rutgers University in Camden. I just want to urge everyone to sign the statement in support of our current contract demands. All of these demands are important, from control over our teaching, research, and service, to access to affordable health insurance for all Rutgers employees. But the one that is closest to my heart and experience is our demand for race, gender, and campus equity. We know that between the campuses, there are huge gaps in faculty pay. Assistant professors in New Brunswick, for example, make close to $30,000 more than their colleagues in Camden. That's unforgivable. And both within and across campuses, women and people of color tend to make far less than their white male counterparts. We can't continue to shortchange Camden, to shortchange BIPOC faculty, and call ourselves one united university. It's time for a change. Sign the statement in support of our contract demands, and let's get the Rutgers that we deserve. Thank you.
I'm Manu Chandra. I'm Associate Professor of English at Rutgers University in Newark, and I support our union's current contract demands because when I was coming up for tenure in 2017, a very dear friend of mine, also employed by Rutgers, also then in his early 40s, but not in a tenure track position like me, instead working as an adjunct, suffered a stroke. This was because he was teaching, I think it was 6 or 7 classes, maybe 8, all across the state of New Jersey, picking up classes wherever he could, sometimes sleeping in his car after a night class so that he could get to a morning class in another part of the state on time. It's for him. It's for him and our most vulnerable comrades that I'm committed to our union's fight for pay parity, equality, and dignity. I hope you'll join me by supporting our union's demands.
My name is Travis DuBose, and I'm Assistant Teaching Professor at Rutgers-Camden in the Department of English and Communication. For me, the most essential thing we're fighting for in this contract campaign is job security. NTTs are doing essential positions across the university, taking on director level positions, making difficult decisions without the protection of tenure. The law school contract already has presumptive renewability for NTTs. That's something that could be ported over and applied to NTTs across the university. This is something that Rutgers already has the language for. For me, the Rutgers we deserve is one where everybody has the job security to do the job they have to do without fear.
Hi, I'm Sarah DeGiorgis. I'm a PhD candidate in the Department of Public Policy and Administration at Rutgers University in Camden. For me, our most important demand is a living wage for graduate students. Currently, our stipend is so low that many graduate students are forced to take on a part-time job to supplement their income. By not paying us a living wage, Rutgers is making graduate education available only to those who can afford it. As a public university, Rutgers should pay us enough so that we can focus on what we are here to do: conduct research, write a dissertation, and publish articles. Rutgers benefits from our research. The least that Rutgers can do is pay us a living wage.
My name is Deepakumar. I'm a former president of the Rutgers AAUP-AFT. And I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the incredible hard work that has, and the stress through which we have all forged ahead and maintained Rutgers as the top-notch university that it is. All of our research has been disrupted. We've had to do online teaching, something that I understand that most of us had not done before, a steep learning curve. We've had to learn how to deal with our students' anxieties, and we've come out on the other side stronger than we were going into it in some ways. And so now I believe is the moment for Rutgers to acknowledge and to give us a good contract and to recognize the hard work that we have put into our service, our teaching, and our research. And the union has constructed, based on the survey results, the survey that you all took, a list of demands that include things like a fair salary increase for us all that should be tied to inflation, guaranteed funding for graduate students, job security for all our faculty, as well as numerous other meaningful demands. So I hope you'll begin by signing on to the statement in support of the union's contract demands and gear up for the fall semester, where we can again, like we did at the last contract campaign, come out in large numbers to express our support for a program and a contract that values all of us and that leads to a Rutgers that we all deserve.